What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Surviving Standard. Today's deck I'm calling Stacked Guardians Druid. This is a Guardian Animals deck. If you've been playing Hearthstone even a little bit with this new expansion, Scholomance Academy, you definitely know what this card does. 7 mana Druid spell, puts 2 beasts 5 or less directly into play. Who are we kidding? These are going to be 5 mana beasts. Blizzard gave us 3 new ones, and I am playing all 3. We have the Teacher's Pet, a value Death Rattle Taunt. The Twilight Runner, sort of the star of the show, as it draws 2 more cards when it comes down and attacks. And then the Lake Thresher, which is a neutral. It's sort of a souped-up Marsh Hydra and is much better because it's generally going to have Rush with the Guardians to give you a huge cleave. The way we stack our deck in our favor is with the new legendary Lore Keeper Polkelt, going to put the Guardians on top, along with the Ysera Unleashed, which I'll talk about later. So you play this Yeti on turn 4, it stacks your deck all the way around. By turn 7, you're going to have a Guardians ready to go, and then turn 8, another Guardians. And because of the Twilight Runner drawing 2 cards, playing those 2 Guardian Animals in a row is going to almost completely draw your whole deck and get you closer to a Savage or finish. The other half of our deck consists mainly of choose cards. Let's take a look at some of them. Early game, we have Reinforcements on turn 1. Maybe we play an early Worthy Expedition in order to find an early play like Rising Winds, which is also in the deck. For 2 turns, you can make a couple 3/2s. Power of the Wild, another spell that you can play on turn 2 to make a 3/2, although ideally you're using the other mode here to buff your team to win the game, or to use early with a card like Bees. Bees is a really strong card that never goes wrong. If your opponent's minion is too small, no worry, you're going to make extra tokens on the board. Power of the Wild also combos very well with the Runic Carvings in the deck, which is another choose spell, new from the Scholomance Expedition set here. 6 mana, hybrid Druid and Shaman card that puts 4 2/2 totems into play, and if you overload 2, you can give them Rush, which is great if you're way behind and you have a Savage Roar in your hand. You get 2 damage from your face and 4 4/2 rushes to try to claw back into the game with. The Runic Carvings, being a choose card, can give you a ton of value late game if you happen to keep your Keeper Steladris in your hand until turn 8. You play the Keeper, you play a Runic Carvings, all of a sudden you get 2 more Runic Carvings in your hand, both versions, one with the Rush, one without. Keeper Steladris will be hard to keep in your hand until turn 8 because there's going to be a lot of opportunities to combo him with cheap choose spells, namely Crystal Power, Tree Reinforcements for just 1 mana. Power of the Wild goes wide, gives you more cards in your hand to go wide with. And even just Wrath with Keeper, it gives you ways to remove multiple minions and draw multiple cards. The lone 3 mana minion in the deck is the new hybrid legendary Shando Wildclaw. Comes down, buffs all the beasts in our deck by +1/+1, which is great because, well, we're trying to cast back-to-back Guardian Animals, giving us 4 beasts with Rush into play. All the better if they're even bigger. As far as copying a minion on the board, keep in mind that if you cast Guardians and copy something immediately if you have 10 mana, well, you're going to also copy a minion with Rush, so keep that in mind. I did say I wanted to talk about Ysera Unleashed in this deck. This deck will function without it, but I found that in a lot of matchups where we would go really late, we would run out of cards, and, well, a card like Ysera Unleashed would have saved me quite a bit. If you're playing against aggro, it's going to be a little bit dead, but there's going to be matchups where you're glad you have Ysera Unleashed. The nice thing with Ysera, and it also can help you, is that when you do play Lore Keeper, it won't mess up your turn 7 Guardians. Assuming you played the Lore Keeper on turn 4, you're going to draw the Guardian or the Ysera turn 5, and then Guardians will be ready for 7 and 8. And because that Ysera is an extra card in your deck, and because of the way Twilight Runner draws cards so quickly, it's possible the second copy of Guardian Animals can actually run out of targets pretty quickly, depending on your random draws. So having that extra 9 mana guy in your deck can actually help the Guardians still have 2 targets. The second copy, that is. The mulligan phase with this deck is pretty simple. You're going to keep Wildclaw and Lore Keeper always. You're going to look for early interaction if you're playing against aggro like Wrath or Crystal Power. You definitely want to keep Rising Winds at all times, as it gives you both a turn 2 and turn 3 play if you need it. I found that both Tree Reinforcements and Worthy Expedition are just always good to keep to give you something to do on turn 1. Power of the Wild is definitely a card you can keep in the mulligan in a pinch as a 2 mana 3/2, although not ideal. Bees, the removal card, however, is just always going to be great. All right, I will leave you guys with some gameplay. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. The extended video will be online, and I will see you guys next time.
Versus Rexar. Let the hunt begin.
Class is in session.
Maybe I'll just keep this. Thing is, like, I'd rather get a bees or something. I have technically already have a turn 2 and a turn 3. That's really good. So we can go 2, 3, 4. Druid anyway. Druid anyway. All right.
Fires of vengeance burn bright.
2 1-drops. Okay.
Traveler.
So the Yeti's going to help us stabilize, right? We have a 3/3 into a Yeti into, I guess, Rising Winds, kind of Power of the Wild kind of stuff. So this means once I play this, I can't do anything till turn 7 because my next 2 draws are 7 drops. But oh, he didn't do anything. That's good.
Students, today's class will be outside.
Oh, it drew a 5-drop. All right. Well, now we have 4, 5, and then turn 6 is. The carvings? No, I get Guardians.
By moon and spear.
This might be a Reno deck. You just happen to get both 1-drops. Oh, that's a pretty good swipe. Like, I don't have to do this now, right? We can do this turn, and then 5, and then this will get a Guardians for turn 7. The thing is, this currently doesn't die on the board. Yeah, okay.
No more niceties.
It's kind of annoying, but I'm still gonna play this. Well, we could just play like this thing again.
How curious.
This is also the Rot Nest turn, so let's just go wide. The 2D's fine too, because if he value hits, I can use my I can theoretically use my face and play that to set up the turn 7 Guardians. Like, he's still gonna play Rot Nest if he's got it, right? Like, oh, I naturally drew one. Is that good or bad?
Power is what you see.
Aloof Melodon.
Knowledge is what I provide.
He gets a nice hit on the 4/5. We're gonna follow up with Devil Rush. If he plays a shitty minion, and then we can get the Hydra, and that's quite good, right? Hit the 1/1 or whatever. Cleave the other. He definitely should have figured out what's going on, right? Like, I just played a guy that reverses my deck on turn 6 for turn 7, so he kind of knows that. Plus, these are buffed up, aren't they? 5/6 taunt, 6/5 that draws 2 cards, or a 5/7. Alright, didn't get the cleave, so that hits pretty good. That hits pretty good, and then we just draw up this. That's good. So the next turn, we kind of know exactly what's going to happen, because we're going to draw one of these, and then this will get the other 2. So we'll have all the information.
Your wish is my suggestion.
You just need to make sure that I play this before I attack with this. If this somehow lives, it doesn't look like it's gonna live. But so what's he gonna have? Something that makes them attack each other? That's not in the basic set, right? He might have just had like a death. White. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, that was a disgusting one to get. It just helps me. It just helps me cleave, right? That's interesting. If I want to draw, though, can't do the cleave. Yeah, it's just more important to draw. I mean, I could leave the stealth, but it could get deadlied. So let's cash in on the draw. Use this because it has rush to get an extra 2 in. Leave this healthy. I don't really care that much about that. Ah, whatever. 2 damage is 2 damage.
Winds of the south, come to my aid.
Looks like it would have mattered. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can bees and we get 2. We can just go ahead and preemptively buff them. He already played his Reno, so I'm trying to think what gets him out of here. Explosive Trap doesn't really work anymore. Unleash and Explosive Trap could work in theory. That's pretty good. Although, what was his other rush? It could be a dragon. How much do I have? We got, assuming he kills another one, we got 9
If power is what you seek, knowledge
plus
is what
8.
you find.
I mean, this has got to be enough. I'm not even going to count again because I'm pretty sure it's enough.
No more niceties. Aloof Neladar.
I think that the Rising Winds is important. I want to be able to make a 2-drop. The Bees, I think, is too good not to play. Yeah, Wrath, maybe. The Wrath is a keeper card, which is nice. Against Paladin, these don't do anything, right? I mean, they kill Divine Shields like way later. Swipe. I just cut, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and put it back. That's better. I got a 1-drop and the Lore Keeper, which does get you Sarah, but like I was talking about, it doesn't actually matter because playing this on turn 4 means I don't get the animals. I can't play the animals until like 3 turns later anyway, so.
Aloof Neladar.
Also, having the extra high mana card does protect the Guardians itself from running out of targets, right? Because now there's just one more card that I have to go through. Man, I love Bees. Because, like, that's why Bees is so good, is because it doesn't matter what they play. Your removal always gets perfect value, right? Like, if he played a 4/4 there somehow, then the Bees is great because it does 4. But, like, if he just makes a dude, I can still play the Bees and be happy about it.
If power is what you seek, knowledge is what I provide.
I could have waited 1 turn to play that, but it's just a Yeti, so I played it. Like, if I didn't have this, this was maybe not great, actually. Maybe instead of Swipe, I run Keeper. Because Keeper can be quasi-removal, or, like, the Silence is just really good right now, man.
Why do you call?
I burn Savage Roar to... I could play around an AoE.
It is wisdom you lack.
Let's just gamble. Cause like I could just win next turn if he doesn't clear me. I could just Savage Roar win. So can this get a Libram for free? It can, right? That's kind of silly.
I'm going to throw the book at you.
What is up, guys? Thanks for making it to the end of the video. You've gone this far. Help the channel out. Go a little bit further. Like the video, comment below, and if you haven't already, of course, you need to subscribe to the channel. The extended gameplay video will be up tomorrow. I'll make sure to link it here once it is online. I'll see you guys next time.